guys, what's going on? Welcome back to my channel, and today we are going to go ahead and cook something very special, very dear to me because I definitely grew up eating it. We are fixing hamburger helper. That's right. I have a few ingredients over here. This is the hamburger helper. This is the lasagna kind. I'm only using one box. If you have a bigger family, you can definitely use more than that. And I'm using, of course, my favorite, Mrs. Dash. We're using a little bit of this Ragin' Cajun, a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, a little bit of Montreal steak seasoning, and a little bit of garlic powder. I'll also be using some chopped onions in here as well. I'm gonna go ahead and brown the onions and bell pepper, and then we'll brown the ground meat.
Alright, you guys, so you want to start with a medium to large saucepan and definitely put your temperature on medium to high. Now we're going to go ahead and melt some butter here. I'm using 4 tablespoons of butter, and we're just going to go ahead and drop that into the pan. Now we're just going to grab a wooden spoon here, and we're going to help that butter, assist the butter to go ahead and melt by breaking it down all over the pan. Using melted butter can definitely speed up this step, but this is fresh butter out of the refrigerator, so it's a little more colder than I would like, but no problem. We're gonna go ahead and melt it down here. Alright, so once your butter is melted or just about melted, we're gonna go ahead and add our onions so that we can go ahead and start browning those, and our bell pepper. I'm not using a whole lot of bell pepper in here because you definitely don't want it to overpower your seasonings or your meat, because I didn't use that much meat as well. So we're just gonna stir that around and then let that brown and the onions become translucent. So now I'm going to go ahead and add our seasonings. Right here we're adding the Mrs. Dash. This one gives it a really good flavor. Then we're going to go ahead and add our garlic powder. Don't be shy with your seasonings. Make sure that you have more than enough season so that we can get a good flavor out of our dish. Now we're going in with the Montreal seasoning. Now this one, the Ragin' Cajun, I'm just going to use just a little bit of that one because the cheese that we're adding will already have salt. The packet of the lasagna will already have salt, and I don't want it to be too salty. And we're just going to add some ground black pepper, a pinch of salt here, and this is just regular kosher salt, just a pinch or two. Now we don't want any of our seasonings to stick or any of our veggies, so we're just gonna grab our wooden spoon and just stir it around just gently and just make sure that nothing is sticking to the bottom, although we do have that butter in there to assist as well. Now that everything has browned, we're gonna go ahead and get a side dish here so that we can put the contents of our pan into that side dish for now and get started on our ground meat. Now for your ground meat, you definitely want to leave that seasoning into your pan. Don't worry about rinsing it out. That gives it a good flavor to the meat. So we're just going to use that wooden spoon and break down the meat here. It definitely will not take that long for this ground meat to brown, since we do have our seasoning helping us at the bottom. We're just stirring everything around, and then the ground meat is letting off some juices as well. So we're just going to brown that really quickly, and then we'll go ahead and add our onion and bell pepper mixture back into this. Alright, so once everything is coming together, we're going to go ahead and cool it down here with 1 1/4 cup of milk. And we're just going to stir everything with a little bit of water here. Alright, now we want to go ahead and rinse our pasta that came from the box, and we're going to go ahead and add that into our saucepan mixture here. So I'm just making sure that everything is coated within our milk mixture, making sure that all of the pasta is underneath that milky mixture so it can help cook the pasta. Once everything is coated, all of the pasta is underneath, you want to add a lid and then bring it to a boil. Once it has started boiling, you do want to check it often to make sure that nothing is sticking to the sides or the bottom of your pan. Alright, again, we're going to just make sure that nothing is sticking because we have brought it to a boil. At this point, your pasta should be, if not there, almost there. This one, I think the pasta was just underneath, so I needed a few more seconds after this. But we are just making sure that nothing is sticking as well and stirring everything together. So right now it looks like everything is cooked down the way I like it. We're gonna go ahead and turn off our heat here, and then we're gonna add our fun part of cheese and then stick it in the oven for just a little bit. As for the cheese, you can definitely add anything you like. I'm using the Colby and Monterey Jack here, and I definitely want to add it all the way around the pan, just so that every single part of this will have some cheese, extra cheese. Now you're going to go ahead and add it to your oven just to broil that top part of the cheese.
We're going to go ahead and make some cornbread. I have some cornmeal here. I'm going to go ahead and whip that up.
Alright, so for the cornbread, we are using some cornmeal. I'm using 1 1/4 cup here for the actual cornmeal. Then we're going to add some flour. I keep mine in a canister, as you know, but we're going to go ahead and scoop out. So for the flour, we'll be using 1 1/4 cup here. After your flour, you want to add 1 cup of cold milk. And now you want to add a pinch of salt. This is optional, but I did go ahead and add it in here. And you can also go ahead and add 2 topfuls of oil. And if you want to add sugar in here, you can definitely do it now. I'm also adding 2 eggs to the mixture as well. I'm going to give my hands a quick rinse, and then we're going to go ahead and stir up our mixture. As you are cooking or preparing anything, make sure you are cleaning up along the way. Now we're going to go ahead and get our pan prepared, cleaned, and everything like that. We're just going to go ahead and wipe out all of the excess water because we will be buttering the pan, and we want to make sure that the butter is sticking to the bottom so that our cornbread does not stick to the pan. So place your cornbread in your oven at 350 degrees and make sure you're watching it for it to brown up golden. Now it is time to go ahead and start plating our lasagna hamburger helper here. I'm just putting some on my son's plate, and that is it, you guys. I did go ahead and make some broccoli along with our meal. If you have not already, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I do hope you liked the video, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.